Kia ora, Virgo. This is your reading for all you Virgos out there for this full moon in Libra. We're looking at that Libran Aries axis here. It's sort of all about relationships and relating. So let's see what's on the storyboard today for you, Virgo. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. These are general readings, so let's just have a look. Well, they're all coming out. There have been some prominent cards coming out repeatedly, which is often the way it works. One of which we have here. And we just need one more. If you haven't tuned in before, welcome. And we do go through and clarify. If you have tuned in before, thanks for coming back again. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's an interesting collection here. So we start, dear Virgo, with the Three of Discs. It is about building new foundations, quite simply, with other people. New beginnings, new foundations. Are you in a position where you're having to start again, or you're venturing into a new business, building a new home? It can be many and varied things. It's a very strong card, the Three of Discs. And it means, in some respects, that you are collaborating. There are other people coming through, coming in, that you're dealing with, and they are dealing with you. And often, we have to get on. There are negotiations, and to get something off the ground collectively can because the more people involved, the more, challenges there might be, or the less challenges there might be. It just depends, doesn't it? Within this project, whatever it happens to be for you, Virgo, we get the Two of Swords coming out. We're looking at a decision that's been made here, and it's more about a gut feeling than actually anything that you see. It is about a gut feeling. It may well come around at the time of the new moon. There is a sword. There is actually a sword piercing a new moon there. Yeah, it's a funny old card, the Two of Swords, because it's almost as if we appear to be slightly at a disadvantage, but in fact we're not, is what I get here. Then we have the Five of Cups. Yes, disappointment it's called in the Thoth deck, simply because we're seeing three spilt cups. We don't see the two full ones, as it always is, but we do, if we are able to shift the perspective, shift our own, I suppose, energy, if you want to call it that, shift our opinion, simply our perspective. It can be quite difficult sometimes when there is a disappointment, when we perceive a loss. But remember, what appears to be a disadvantage may well be quite advantageous here. And then we have the Three of Swords. Yeah, it's called sorrow. It could be a memory from the past. It could be something that you're experiencing at this current time. In some ways, lately, or the last couple of weeks, I think, since the last new moon, it has been. I do think there has been a time of reviewing, of things becoming, even if they're things from the past, they're not always, just because we're doing a review, they're not always things that have happened in the past. But a sort of revealing of some things, of reasons maybe why, it's a lot of deep thought involved in that, involved in feeling old sorrows and knowing our responsibility in terms of getting into a situation or making choices that the results at a certain point was this sort of level of sorrow. But like is always the case, you know, in retrospect, sometimes things seem very beneficial. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. But I do think, you know, we've had a lot of information coming through to us in recent weeks, like just on a personal level and, you know, collectively speaking. So stick with it, Virgo, stick with it, because we've got the 10 of Cups coming out. We know the feeling of happiness. We know what we are seeking, and I do think this is what you are seeking. So let's just clarify for you. The sun is really going down now. Yes, it has to happen every day. Let's see. 3 of Discs, which has been coming up a lot, Virgo. It's been coming up a lot. Whatever this collaboration, whatever you're building or rebuilding, there's a lot of clarity involved here. We've got the Ace of Swords. There has to be. There's a lot of truth. There's a lot of clarity. Now, is it your truth? Someone else's truth? I don't know. There's the ability to really, whatever the situation is for you, however it plays out, whatever is going on here, because these are really incredibly general readings, know that you have the ability to not get swept away emotionally. There's nothing wrong with getting swept away emotionally for a little bit. But look at it like this. You've got the acumen and the mental clarity to deal with whatever needs to be dealt with, Virgo. And you can do that. You can do that as a Virgoian very, very well. So we see the 5 of Cups again. I wasn't really looking at anything specifically here. The 5 of Cups, so we know disappointment, a shift in perspective. There's a lesson within this. You know that. You know that. Impulsive, fiery energy here. This is very reactionary. Maybe it is someone you're dealing with, you're having to deal with. Maybe it is aspects of yourself, Virgo. And the 6 of Cups, a beautiful, balanced and harmonious card. There's no ulterior motive or agenda with this 6. It's about giving freely, without agenda, from the heart. We remember this. You know, we remember as a child realizing what this feeling is, you know, this. As our brain developed a little bit more, we realised, yeah, this expression of love feels good, you know. Anyway, I'm going on a bit here and I'm not focused. I'm just going to zero in on the 2 of Swords. Let's peel the onion layers back. Just some clarity, please, for the 2 of Swords for Virgo. This is a Virgo reading, of course. There's something in here that's rebalancing the scales. Virgo, there's something, you know, like a pendulum, like it swings a certain direction in this direction, certain way. At some point, it will come to right itself in a level of equilibrium in the middle. I say that because to clarify the 2 of Swords, we get the 2 of Swords. So it is a decision you're making based on your gut instincts here. And we have justice, so balancing the scales, as I said, the red robes of truth. Inherently, you know your own truth, Virgo. It's kind of an obscure reading, I must say, but let us look at the Five of Cups, which we've got in this reading twice. There's a second time round. There's a second, it feels like this is a second time round or a second chance at something here. Whatever way you want to look at it. We're looking at that Five of Cups. We get the Four of Cups. This is really about being offered something, but not actually seeing it as an opportunity or an offering, really. Because you're not familiar with the flavour of it, if you know what I mean. The way that it appears to you. The way that it appears. There is something, if there's any difficulty within this reading in terms of, you're shifting your perspective, you're looking at things in a new way. There's a real good angle to what's going on here. There's a message coming through with the Page of Pentacles and the real practical nature of whatever it is that you're involved in here. Three of Swords, Virgo. Three of Swords, is this in the past? So I do feel that it is for Virgos. A Knight of Cups, an offering from the past. From the past? Like I say, second chance, second opportunity. Second opportunity, make of that what you will. Looking at that Three of Swords with the Knight, fast-moving Knight of Cups. Virgo, just one more for that, please. A missed opportunity. Anyway, let's go to the 10, because we're not getting anything much here. 10 of Cups. It's possible that there's a Virgo out there who has sort of had a kind of like an emotional review. I say that, it's just like a review of your life. I've been doing that a little bit lately, but I felt like it is the beginning of the year more so now. Like, you know what I mean? And so we do reviews, especially about, the way that things have at times played out, and it is often because we remember those things that that touched us, emotionally, memories. Why did I remember that occasion? It doesn't seem that amazing. But it's often because there was a higher motive, a high emotional state at the time, whether happy, ecstatic, or not so much so. It's all hooked into the emotional memory bank. And so for that 10 of Cups, which is a glorious card, absolute satisfaction on all levels, we have the Four of Wands, which is the happy home. I see a Virgo really throughout this that might be maybe collaborating to new things, new projects, new work, but who nevertheless, in all the trials and tribulations of relating to others and vice versa, has a very happy place to be. Whether we're reviewing the past and feeling levels of sadness, we're kind of buffered in a sense in our place of belonging, Virgo. So it's actually pretty amazing. Maybe you do feel at some point over the years you had a second chance. Gosh, a lot of us, I guess a lot of times we get second chances at stuff, whatever they happen to be. And yeah, this idea you've either made a choice or you're making a decision, maybe to get more equilibrium in your life, more balance. We've got Indy from Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairies. This is about making decisions, and it's about, well, we see this, it's weighted on one side, isn't it? So we kind of know which direction we're going here. And just an animal for you, dear Virgos. An animal spirit card, Kim Kranz. Quite lovely artwork here. Something for Virgo. Wow. We've got the Cobra. Upright and zeroed in. We're hearing the call. And maybe, the call of past memory that's attached to the heart. But the future's looking glorious. So keep moving to the rhythm, dear Virgo. On that note, I hope you got something from this or enjoyed it in whatever way. And thanks for joining me again. Enjoy this full moon. I shall be outside once it gets completely dark to have a good look. Take care, Virgo. We'll see you next time. Ka kite, bye.